footage and audio used in the baked bonus rounds is owned entirely by the copyright holders. Baked bonus rounds makes no claim of ownership and simply uses the footage and audio for purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support Behavior Interactive and Dead by Daylight by playing in its entirety wherever it's available. Hi everyone, my name's Ulrik.
My name is Ganjja.
And we'd like to welcome you to the Baked Bonus Rounds. This is our very first video. We'd like to begin by telling you about what we're going to be doing here today. In this series, we're going to pair weed and video games in a way very similar to wine and cheese. We aim to be educational. We want to help you guys understand how weed can let you enjoy your games and live a more relaxing and fulfilling life. Using cannabis responsibly can really put a gamer in the right mood. So, guess what we're here to do? Without further ado, here are the pairings of Turban Poison the Sativa and Yodo OG the Indica for the infamous slasher game Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is an asymmetrical survival horror game that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Take on the role of a merciless killer or a desperate survivor. Here's Ganjja to tell you a bit about the survivors and what they can do to get us started.
Survivors have a lot of interesting options when it comes to their gameplay. Do you want to be altruistic and focus on keeping your friends healthy even after they've been mauled? Or do you want to be the last man standing, inspired by the loss of your fellow survivors? The Hollywood feeling of being a survivor is replicated perfectly here. You're going to be enduring some intense chase sequences. And you're going to be struggling to hold those anxieties in check while you're repairing those generators, man. Playing as a survivor, you're going to want to escape out of one of the two exit gates. Those gates aren't going to open themselves though. You're going to have to repair 5 generators, and there's only 4 of you to get it done, you know? It's going to take you guys some time though. And the killer's going to do everything he can to stop you, either by kicking the generators or killing your friends. You can choose to save the unlucky survivors by removing them from the hooks, or you can let them hang, maybe buying you just enough time to get out. Bring toolboxes and flashlights and even fireworks into the fogs with you, man, and do everything you can to make it out. Now let's focus on what a lot of horror fans are here to see, the killers.
Killers in Dead by Daylight come in a lot of unique flavors that either pay respects to horror movie classics or ripped straight out of Hollywood. The game's original killers feature faces such as the Clown, touching on Stephen King's classics It, Love You Tim Curry, as well as a real-life serial killer, John Wayne Gacy. Don't forget the Spirit, referencing the Ring franchises. As for licensed, famous killers, Dead by Daylight doesn't pull any punches. Icons such as Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Leatherface, and Amanda Young, otherwise known as the Pig from Saw, are all here to bring their unique take on suffering to the game. Playing as the killer, you'll be tasked with using your enhanced abilities or barbaric tools to search for and ultimately sacrifice survivors to the entity, the dark, Lovecraftian deity that controls all the games. In order to perform a sacrifice, killers need to first injure or incapacitate a survivor, then carry them to one of the multiple meat hooks scattered around the map. Once the survivors have spent enough time hanging from the hook, or once they've been hooked a couple of times, they'll be fully sacrificed and removed from the game, pleasing the entity and bringing the murderers closer to their merciless victory. Now that you know a bit about both sides of this terrifying game, let's talk about what makes our pairings of Turban Poison and Yodo OG perfect for the frights. Starting off with Turban Poison, it's a classic sativa that can be traced to its South African port town of Durban over 50 years ago. The smoke is light and easy to inhale when compared to other strains. It has a fruity flavor with just a hint of licorice on the exhale. But be warned, this strain can be really hard to hold on to if you've applied too much at once. Nevertheless, your mind is instantly wiped clear, bringing with it a sense of clarity and focus. The sense of clarity gives way quickly to the sense of determination that drives the user towards objectives, rather than shackling them to the couch. This can be great for all games, but it's especially good for the atmosphere of Dead by Daylight. While playing, we experienced an intense rush of excitement as rounds began. We found ourselves sprinting to generators and making use of copious amounts of perks and builds in a whirlwind of trial and error. Anytime our character's heartbeat would increase, we'd be laughing, screaming, and shushing each other as the Durban poison continued to carry our high game after game. Managing to power the escape gates and making a run for the exit brought on an intense feeling of satisfaction as the powerful built-up emotion fell away and the weed brought us gently into a feeling of relaxation. Alternatively, getting hooked and dying felt like a major buildup of frustration as the turbid poison had us feeling more driven to live than ever before. All that said, we feel Durban Poison is a great sativa for users interested in a focused, driven high that will endure for multiple matches.
Yoda OG is our other selected strain, and we chose it specifically for the calm and chill effect it had on us while we played the game. The inhale has a distinctly earthy taste, and there's a refreshing piney taste on the exhale. It can be a bit rough to take in and hold, but the exhale comes really easy and feels really chill. We felt happiness and euphoria washing over us within minutes of initial smoking. This paired excellently with Dead by Daylight, and no matter what happened to us, we were just laughing and giggling and just doing whatever, man. Repairing generators and being chased around by the killer were no less anxiety-inducing, but the effects were pretty short-lived. The Yoda OG would pretty quickly mellow us back out. Winning a round would result in laughing fits that could go for like minutes. Dying wasn't really all that different. If there's one word we could use to describe Yoda OG's effects, it'd be potent. So take this strain in smaller doses while you play. We picked these strains because we felt that they matched perfectly with Dead by Daylight, but marijuana has a lot of uses outside of gaming. Here's a few things that we think Durban Poison and Yoda OG can do for you.
Being a sativa, Durban Poison usually provides an uplifting feeling that can really help the user get up and go. For this reason, we feel it can really help with lethargic behavior. If you feel like you need something to help motivate you through the day, and a cup of coffee or soda just can't do it for you, Durban Poison might be able to help with that. For the same reason, it's also fantastic for outdoor uses. The positive feelings Durban Poison produces also makes it perfect for social situations. We found that after use, our thoughts were free-flowing and our minds were open to curiosities. This drink can also be handy for small pains, like minor headaches or small irritations. Durban Poison really makes for a great daytime toke, as everything about this classic sativa helps with ordinary routines of day-to-day life.
Yoda OG, on the other hand, is an indica through and through. If you're feeling a little bummed out and you want to chill, this is exactly the strain that you're looking for. This strain will let your imagination go, and it'll stop you from stressing about anything. When we smoked a lot of it, we found out it was pretty good for insomnia. A good amount of it would knock out pretty much anybody. When we smoked a little bit of it, we found that Yoda OG was fantastic for creative things, as long as we could take our time with it. This stuff will make you hungry, so make sure you have some awesome munchies nearby. And finally, if you got like a really bad migraine, we found that this stuff could help with that.
There's a lot of great things cannabis can provide, but there's also some negatives that we should talk about. Here's a few things that we noticed that might have you avoiding these strains. Durban Poison still maintains a lot of its typical sativa characteristics, even in the negatives. Smoking even a modest amount of this strain, we found, caused some instant redness and itchiness in our eyes. So just make sure you got some eye drops nearby for this one. Smoking too much of this strain had our minds racing, sometimes causing us to overanalyze situations, like leading to paranoia. As you might expect, this also caused a bit of irritability. The situation's only really manifested when we smoke too much though, so just make sure you're applying responsibly. However, we felt the positives greatly outweighed the negatives, as we had to smoke a large amount to even have the negatives come out to play.
When it comes to Yoda OG, it's pretty much the same. The problems really only come out when we smoke too much. When we smoke just a little bit, our mouths were like totally dry. So make sure you have a drink is all I'm saying. It'll also bring out the munchies like real bad. So bring a snack. Smoking too much also made us really tired, which Yoda OG and indicas will do. And smoking way too much will make us almost apathetic. As long as you smoke just the right amount, you're not going to deal with any of that. Remember, you can always smoke more, but you cannot smoke less. Serious. We want to stress the cannabis affects everybody different. So what we said may not be specifically what it feels like for you. Just remember that this is more of a suggestion based off of what we feel. When used responsibly, we believe it can create a positive atmosphere in all our lives. Do you think you got a game or strain that you'd like us to try? Hit us up in the comments and let us know how you're feeling about the baked bonus rounds.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out our Patreon page. You'll find it at the bottom of the description of the video. And hit that little bell. Doing that will let you know when we put up our next one, which will be real soon.
So for me, Ganjja.
And me, Ulrik.
Don't forget to get baked.
Don't feed the trolls.
Hey, man.
And have a good game.